Well, Cajun family, I don't know if you've ever been formally introduced to Blaze. I'm about 1,000,000% sure that this is going to be another one of those non-OSHA approved kind of things. You know what I mean?
This is gold.
It's not the climb that I'm worried about, it's the dismount. It's straight-ish.
Hey, this is about as crooked as a... We can move on to the next project. Hey, Blaze.
All I want to do is cut some grass. One thing's got to tear it up.
Good morning. Good morning. You don't look very enthused. Hey y'all, and welcome back to Cajun Country Livin.
Hey y'all, today we woke up to like 56 degrees in South Louisiana. The high today is only supposed to get to 71, and it might be 60 now. You see, hoodies, there's something wrong about that anyway, but it really kicked us into gear on a lot of little bitty tiny projects that we got going on that we need to get wrapped up before this wet Louisiana winter sets in.
So I know 50 degrees to a lot of y'all. I was actually on the phone with Jen and Teddy from the Laughing Pines this morning, and she was saying that it was 26 degrees there. And I will definitely take 50 degrees over in the 20s, but still, for Louisiana, the winter time, y'all, it really doesn't get that bad down here, but we do have a lot of cold mornings and cold nights.
And we're typically where a lot of people have snow and ice, and they have to deal with all that business. Down here, most of the time it's just wet and nasty. And when it is wet and nasty, that means you can't get to a lot of things that you'd like to get done, like bush hogging, things of that nature.
So starting us off this morning, something that I guess isn't necessarily a winterizing thing, but something that we realized that we actually had was this little piece of ridge cap. So we came back here to the swamp house this morning, and we're fixing to put it up on this last little section that we never actually got a chance last year whenever we built this to finish the ridge cap on.
That's a little sad, to tell you the truth.
We just don't have the time. When have we had the time? Whenever we built the swamp house, y'all, we had an extension ladder with us, and today we do not. So we're fixing to get creative of how we're going to do this, and I actually kind of have an idea, but I just don't think, Jim, I don't think you're going to like it. But you don't have to get up there. I'll do it.
Pretty sure that I'm not going to like it, and I'm about 1,000,000% sure that this is going to be another one of those non-OSHA approved kind of things. You know what I mean?
Welcome to Cajun Country Livin. Okay, hear me out. If you back the buggy up where it is right now, and then you hand me the ladder on top of the buggy, I can probably get up there.
Or we could park the buggy up close. I get on top of the buggy. You get on top of my shoulders.
No. I don't think you could have got it any closer. See? The plan's coming together.
What do you expect? I didn't get my driver's license from Walmart.
By fall, it's only like 15 feet up there.
Well,
Surely
don't
it's
even
not
think
more.
about falling. Think about not falling.
Okay.
Woo, that looks safe.
Do you think being on your shoulders would be safer?
I think so.
This is gold.
It's not the climb that I'm worried about, it's the dismount.
Oh, the dismount? I don't need it. I can jump down from the roof onto the top and then jump down. Here we go.
How does that feel?
Spongy.
Spongy? Oh.
Golden.
That
Look
worked
at
like
that.
a charm.
Look at that. All right, so this piece, like I said, is extremely small. But it still needs to be done. See that gap in the wood right there? That's where it's going to start leaking at with all this weather. And on top of that, on both sides, there's actually a gap that shows straight down into the inside of this little building. So we really need to get that covered up.
If you've got some heavy-duty cutting to do, Wild Badger's got you covered. This chainsaw automatically adjusts speed and power depending on what you're cutting, saving battery life for longer use. And safety? You're protected with a dual bolt chain bar lock, front handguard, and a secure two-handed operation. No manual oiling needed. It's got automatic lubrication and comes with a chain adjustment tool for easy maintenance. Being a lithium chainsaw, it's lighter and more environmentally friendly. Weighing only 11 pounds, you won't feel tired after extended use. Because it uses a 40-volt battery, there's no gasoline, which means no odor, less noise, and less vibration. With a visual battery indicator, you'll always know how much juice you got left. The Wild Badger 40-volt chainsaw is built for any job. You can use it to cut down trees, trim branches, make furniture. Besides, there's a reliable 3-year warranty for customer service, so you won't have to worry about anything at all. Check it out today on Amazon or their official site. This is linked below in the description. Wild Badger Honest Power, built for happy life.
About 20 inches is where the next screw falls out. How does that sound?
That sounds good. That'll work. That gives us plenty of lap. That way the rain won't be blowing up underneath it, hopefully.
Well, it's better than what's there now. Ooh, we're on it today. Much better than the last time.
So remind me again why we didn't do this while we were back here last time?
I think we were hot and sweaty, and we didn't want to climb back up here again, if I had to guess.
Well, that doesn't really sound like that.
Got your tin cutting hooters there.
10 cut hooters in hand and fully charged. We're ready to get it. The only thing I didn't bring was something to mark with, so I'm going to use my thumb. We're going to see how that works, I guess. It's straight-ish.
Well, I think that the straightness is the least of our problems with this. I didn't realize, I guess on the ground compared to up here, look how much smaller this is. Not doing this to look pretty. It's supposed to be functional.
We don't have to worry about curb appeal way back here in the swamp.
No. Maybe if I flatten it out like that, what do you think? That might be better.
As long as it sheds water, I really don't care.
I hate the end ones because I'm always nervous whenever I go to put them in that I'm going to be pushing on them. You ever do that? You're going to be pushing on them and it's like...
Slip right off the side?
Yeah. Hey, this is about as crooked as a... I don't know what, but I'm telling you.
It is pretty crooked.
It don't matter, does it? Okay. You know what? It's custom. I believe is the word I like better. Custom.
That was about slick right there.
What?
Very, very smooth.
Very smooth. Could have gone very wrong, but it did not. That's all that matters. All right, I think the only thing we need to do back here is check the batteries and put this corn out. Then we can move on to the next project.
One of the things that we were working on to try to get knocked off our list is cutting these pastures again right before wintertime. Going to try to get all this tall, dead grass cut, make everything look nice and neat. Then the grass shouldn't grow in the wintertime. Well, while we were doing that, this coupling stripped out. So all the teeth stripped out of this coupling, which goes right here. So in my infinite wisdom, what I tried to do was get the weld machine and put little tacks on here to hold it in place. But the shaft material right here is a lot harder material than this coupling. So every time I would hit a clod of dirt, a root, it would shear my tacks off. So I ended up being able to find another coupling, which was a thing all in itself, because everybody wanted to sell you this whole piece with the spline bushings, all this stuff, and I didn't need it. All I needed was the coupling. So, got everything put together here, everything looking good, and this is the bushing that goes in here. Well, there lies another problem. We don't have enough space with everything pulled as far as it'll go to get this bushing in here. So now I got to take it all back apart, clean these splines again to try to get another maybe 1/8 inch of gap in here so I can put this bushing back. The things. You know, all I want to do is cut some grass. Why things got to tear up, you know?
If y'all can tell that this is a different color of a bush hog because we upgraded in size. And of course, we did not buy anything new because if you know us.
I guess that's what we're working on.
Yeah. So the pains of getting a good deal. But I think that part was only, what'd you say, about 60 bucks?
Yeah, it was 60 bucks.
So we're still coming out way on top for what one of these would be brand new.
This whole drive section is what you can find online for sale. And that section was like 450 or 60 bucks. So we just kind of lucked out being able to find just this coupling because it was extremely hard to get our hands on. This seems like a really simple task, but you know how things are. Even the things that seem really simple can get complex in a hurry. And this being one of them, not only do we need to change this coupling needs to be in time. So what that means is there are 2 sets of blades underneath this bush hog. In order for them to be timed right, one needs to be 90 degrees this way, and the other needs to be 90 degrees this way. That way, whenever they turn, the blades don't intersect and hit one another. They turn in unison. So what happened when this coupling stripped, they got out of time and the blades actually hit one another and it beat them all up. We're going to have to grind them back down. But whenever we put it together, this has to be absolutely perfect, or we've done all of this work just to redo it. I'd have found the opportunity to be able to take care of our slack issue. I pulled this coupling off and it looked like the end of the shaft. When we pulled the end of the shaft out, it looks like the end of the shaft's still in there. So that might be the reason we couldn't get any more play in this. It looks like a piece of plastic or something. I don't know what it is, but it's fixing to come out. You know, that looks like just built up dirt, something. I don't know. Question mark? Let's leave that right there.
That might have been a way quicker fix than we were thinking.
That would be so nice. And I'm going to clean all these grooves out for these splines to fit in. And we'll put it all back together and see if we can get it to slide all the way through.
Eventually, we might need to fix these holes as well, Jim Wayne.
Well, that just adds for aerodynamics. You know, maximum airflow.
You look like you're going to be there for the next 10 to 20 business days, so I'm going to run out there and feed Blaze real quick. Hey, Blaze. All right, how's it going back over here?
I think I've got it. Look at here. Now it's adjustable all the way through. So
Yeah?
I should be able to work my slat back and forth to get it lined up. I got to check the timing. So to do that, I'm going to have to start the tractor, put the hydraulics in, lift the bush hog up so we can look up underneath it. And then it'll be ready to bolt back together.
Jim, have you seen the blade?
No, they look bad.
They don't look good.
I guess I know what I'm going to have to ask for Christmas.
How in the world? It is like sawed off.
Can you imagine something solid steel running at 540 RPMs and hitting something else going the same speed?
Oh my gosh, look at the other one. Wait a second. Let's spin this around. Oh my word. You told me we got a good deal on this. Now I'm thinking, I don't know.
Well, I think that was in probably good shape before we tore it up.
Correction. Who tore it up? Oh my gracious.
Oh yeah, that'll buff right out. Oh,
are you kidding me?
It totally train wrecked these blades, didn't it?
Severely.
Oh well, we're just gonna have to grind off whatever we can grind off and try to make it work. not much of an option. Well, I have the timing set. I've just got to be super careful not to turn anything. These flex bushings need to be changed also, but I think we can still get a little bit more out of them. But look how cracking and dry rotted they are.
This right here, where I can see the sky from the underside, or maybe this right here.
Well, all that is sheet metal.
The blade.
Oh, all that is blades.
Okay, so for giggles, I'm going to look up and see how much it would be to replace these. Just the blades. Okay. I thought it would be worse.
How much was
So
it?
a piece, so we need 4 total. A piece, they're $49.99.
Well, that's not exactly great. We have all the bushings, the couplings, the drive shafts, all of the things. We got it bolted back together. We have it in time. So hopefully it's going to be good to cut grass. With the exception, I do have to crawl under here and sharpen these blades up a little bit because they did get a little bit of minor damage.
Minor.
But anyway, we're going to have to give her a test run after we get it all sharpened up and greased up and ready to go. Hope for the best. Maybe we can get this stuff finished. Good morning, old boy. Ready to get out and stretch your legs a little bit? Huh? You're a good boy, ain't you? You gonna try to step on my feet again? Huh? Try to step on my feet again? You've been rolling in the grass, haven't you?
I bet he did. Feels good out this morning for him.
He's got grass seeds all over.
I love your makeshift halter you got.
Well, you know, you use what you got. He don't mind it. Super soft. Look at that. You're gonna need a bath, ain't you, buddy? A little bath and a brushing. We'll wait till it gets a little warmer, though. I won't put that cold water on. What do you think? It sound like a good idea? You want bubbles or no bubbles? Bubbles? No bubbles. Yes, bubbles. Oh, yeah, he wants bubbles. Look at there.
His face is looking so much better already, and the little spots that he had bad are looking a lot better.
All the hair's growing back over.
Just in time for winter.
That's right.
Good morning. Good morning. You don't look very enthused.
Well, Cajun family, I don't know if you've ever been formally introduced to Blaze. Blaze is our new old horse. So let me go and elaborate a little bit. So Blaze was actually raised by my mom and dad. Then after he got a little age on him, one of my nephews got into team roping. Well, my mom and dad gave Blaze to my nephew. Well, Blaze has made full circle. My nephew gave him to us, so he's still in the family. Everybody still gets to enjoy him.
Jim's nephew just didn't have time for him right now with how much he's working. So it actually worked out perfect for us because we've been looking for a horse for, I don't know, since I was about, I don't know, how old do you start talking? 3? I think everybody wants a pony whenever they're little. But, so Blaze is my first horse and your 200th, probably, roughly.
We kept horses growing up because my mom and dad had cattle, and that's how we worked our cattle, was off of the horses. Well, Blaze was kind of a unique situation. Remember, we had the opportunity to get Blaze and bring him here. It was more than just getting a horse here, and it was more than just getting a horse here that we knew was young and healthy and everything that goes along with that. See, Blaze is a really unique horse in a way that his temperament is as such that when he was a colt, whenever it was time for him to be broken, he got the bridle, he got the saddle blanket, he got the saddle, and he never jumped one time. He has one of the coolest temperaments, one of the mildest personalities that I've ever seen. Now, he is extremely strong, capable of doing whatever work that needs to be done, and he's pretty fast, but you would never know it by his temperament because he's just a good boy. He's just a good old boy. I swear I think he'd crawl up in your lap if you would let him. I think that'd be a crushing experience though.
So even though Blaze has that really, really good temper, what we've been trying to do every few days is just come out here, saddle them up, ride them a little bit, and then that way he's just continues to be used to this. Before, I don't think he had been rode in at least a few months, if not even longer than that. So he really doesn't mind it at all, but it's always good to just keep them in some type of repetition. It's kind of like, you know, if you have a dog and you train him how to sit, then you wait 6 months and you tell him to sit again, odds are he's probably not going to know what you're talking about.
You was just getting out of the habit, wasn't you, bud? He's like, yeah, and it didn't bother me a bit.
This is something that I think y'all might really enjoy seeing. For Jim, this is something that he had to do as work as a kid. And they, you know, had to ride hard. They actually had to do, you know, you see these team roping events, and I tried to get Jim to go out there all the time because his nephews do it. But to him, he doesn't really want to get out there and do that because that used to be work for him. So, you know, it's just a different way to see things, but all in all, we are so glad that Blaze is here. So we're gonna bring y'all along with us this morning and show y'all how we get him saddled up and show y'all this really cool story behind the saddle as well. I also think that this was finally a horse that I showed Jim that we just couldn't pass up on. Finally.
After 246,000 of them.
Yes, exactly. So starting off, we're gonna get our saddle blanket here. Everything's a little crispy still because everything's a little new. Yeah, that broke the bank, in case you're wondering. So we're going to go ahead and get the saddle, and this one in particular has the hole right here for, Jim Wayne, correct me if I'm wrong, for whenever his shoulder blades come up, right? It kind of makes the saddle sit better on him.
Yeah, and that's not a necessity, but I've always liked those because it gives, if you'll see this area where the shoulders come up, you have a little hump in that back. That's going to help that saddle pad grip and hold to his body posture, and it's just, to me, it's easier on the horse and it's easier on the saddle because you don't have any sliding around. You don't have to tighten the girt super tight because the pad that the saddle sits on fits in there really snug and really tight.
Now there's a million different saddle blanket styles that you can get, but Jim picked this one because he liked how the leather line went, so you can see on both sides if it's even, and that's just personal preference, I think.
Business straight. There we go. That feeling better, old boy?
Should have brought you carrot. Oh, you like that word? Carrot? How about Jello? You like Jello?
I know he likes Jello. He was raised on Jello.
Jim's mama used to go out every single day and give him either, I think it was raspberry Jello. And what that's actually good for is for their hooves to strengthen them, and it makes their coat really, really shiny. So we actually went over there yesterday to drink some coffee, and she had some raspberry Jello sitting there. So I know that they're enjoying us having him just as much as we're enjoying having him.
Now, a couple things about the saddle that we just put on him. If you'll see this leather starting to curl up, it's really, really hard. It's almost non-pliable at all. That's because it's really dry. This saddle is several years old.
To me, several means like 3-4 years old.
Yeah.
That's definitely not the case with this.
It's not as old as you would think. This saddle is probably 20 years old.
That's not several, that's a lot.
But for a saddle, that's not extremely old. They last a lifetime if you take care of them. This saddle actually came from my older brother, as you know, is the dirt doctor.
What did the dirt doctor used to do? Rope, huh?
The dirt doctor was quite the team roper, and this was one of his saddles. Now, I'm sure a lot of you probably know this already, but if you don't, as a team roper, you're catching these steers at a high rate of speed with a rope. And after you catch, whether if you're heading or you're heeling, you're going to dally off, which means wrap the rope around the saddle horn. Now, this is a leather wrapped saddle horn, and a lot of times they slip, and you really have to hold on to that rope or it'll burn your hands, or it can even cut your fingers off. I know tons of team ropers that are missing fingers, and that's what it's from. So my brother would wrap inner tube out of a tire around this saddle horn, and that will keep the rope from slipping very much whenever he went to wrap the rope around and dally off. It helps grip and that rope not to slip. A lot easier, quicker dally, almost no slip. Now, I don't know if everybody does this or not that fools with horses or ropes or just trail rides or whatever. But this is the girth. The girth goes underneath the girth of the horse, and it has a buckle on it. If you'll see the strap here, it has holes in this bucket. It has holes in this buckle in order to buckle in this strap. Now, I don't do that because a horse is a living, breathing creature. Okay, and you got to take that into consideration. So, you know, like after Thanksgiving, you have to unbuckle your pants, you know, to get that extra little breath. A horse is the same way. It depends on if he is hot, if he's cool, if he's full, if he's not full, and you're going to be chasing these buckles, and hopefully you'll have a lineup hole. Well, if you just wrap it like this, you pull it, get it tightened up to where he currently is.
Is that a little snug?
It ain't that tight. So what I do is I come down on this side of the D-ring, come back around the other side, and pop it in tight. Then throughout the course of the day, if you need to tighten the saddle up, all you gotta do is throw you some slack, pull on the strap, get your slack out, and then there you go. You're tight again, ready to go.
That back strap that Jim is buckling right now really isn't a necessity. The Dirt Doctor just had that on there because he would rope, and that's just one more thing to hold it. There's also, like, I know a lot of people have probably seen, like, there's eyes right here underneath the saddle, so that way you can put a chest piece, but really, we don't need that, so we're not going to tighten it real tight. You ready? You just want your treat after? Jello? I'll take that as a yes. Blaze, you look like something now. Little fine boy.
Look at all fancy.
Do a little snugging.
Yeah. Done slacked off a bunch. Pop. There we go. Ready again, old boy. You want to take him for a ride? Oh yeah, you look like a natural.
Where would you like to go? I guess that shouldn't be the way I look at that. I think it should be more like, where do I want to go?
Probably left up to you, huh?
Good boy.